Okay, so let's go. Beforehand, I'm gonna tell you that last time we have seen the verbs of the infinitive that end with are. So if you haven't seen the last lesson, it's really important that you see it if you don't know already what I'm talking about. So here instead we have the verbs in the infinitive that end with ere. So basically it's the same thing as we have done before. We take away the desinence, so ere. In this case the verb is prendere. That means to take, prendere, like it's written here. And take away the desinence, ere, put it aside for now, and you ought to add the desinence that the verb wants in that person, in that verbal tense. As well as we have seen in the last lesson, we're gonna see the present simple for ere as well. So in the present simple, ere, in this case prendere, becomes io prendo, so I take, tu prendi, you take, lui lei prende, he she takes, noi prendiamo, we take, voi prendete, you plural take, loro prendono, they take. Okay, and then we have some commonly used, commonly seen verbs that end in ere. We have prendere, so like I said, to take or to have. For example, in what situation it's not always to have. Like, for example, at a bar, at a restaurant, it's like I'll get, I'll have, I don't know, the shrimps or something like that. You know what I'm talking about. Then we have scrivere, that means to write. Then we have leggere, that means to read. Then we have vedere, to see. Then we have mettere, to put. Then we have chiedere, to ask. Then we have rispondere, to answer. We have chiudere, I'm sorry. Chiudere, to close. I was thinking of chiedere, that means to ask, that we have seen before. You see, it changes just one letter, but it makes a whole lot of difference. Then we have vivere. This one probably you have already seen, it's similar to Spanish as well. Vivir in Spanish. So vivere means to live. Then we have credere, to believe. This one is also similar to Spanish. Creer in Spanish, but okay. Then we have the verbs in ire, so the last desinence that we have not already seen in for the infinitive. Okay, so the verbs that end with ire, I'm sorry, they are divided into types, and I'm just gonna say it before we see how they are conjugated. You cannot understand if a verb is of the first category, like category A, like it's written here, tipo A, so A type, or B type. You cannot understand it if you are just reading the word on paper. For example, if you hear it not conjugated in the infinitive, you cannot know if it is part of the first category or the second one. So what you ought to do to, just understand not like in which category to put it, and so accordingly conjugate it. Yeah, basically you just have to memorize it. Like, for example, the verb here, dormire, to sleep, it is A type, so the first category, and you just wouldn't know from looking at it like this plainly. You have to know. Basically, someone needs to have told you before, So dormire of the first category, it's the same as we have seen before. We take away ire, so the desinence of the verb. We are left with the root of the verb, so dorm in this case, and we add the desinences that the present simple for the verbs of the ire kind of the A type want in the present simple. I don't know if I already said that, but we have io dormo, so I sleep. Tu dormi, you sleep. remember to repeat after me always. Lui, lei dorme, so he, she sleeps. Then we have noi dormiamo, so we sleep. We have dormite, voi dormite, so you plural sleep. Then we have loro dormono, so they sleep. Okay. And then we have the second kind that's a little more counterintuitive, we could say, because it's not actually always the desinence, because the desinence, as we can see, it's pretty much the same, but it changes in this middle part, we could say right here. So instead of capire, I take away ire. Capire means to understand, by the way. And instead of taking away ire and adding o, like I've done in the first kind of the ire verb, I need to add this part as well. So this isk part, isk or ish, depending on what vowel follows. Obviously, if you don't remember what I'm talking about, you gotta see the first lesson. So here we have io capisco, I understand. And so you see the difference is this isk. Then we have tu capisci, you understand. Lui, lei capisce. He, she understands. Noi capiamo, we understand. Voi capite, you plural understand. Loro capiscono, they understand. Okay, it's not too difficult once you get out of it, you know, once you get the gist of it. Okay, then we have some examples of verb in ire. We have some examples for the first category, so the ones that follow the rule that we have seen for dormire, same desinences, like partire, to leave. Then we have aprire, to open. Then we have sentire. This means both to hear and to feel. Then we have offrire, to offer. Then we have the other type, so the type B. So remember that you use this isk, ish in the middle of the conjugations, but not in all of the persons, as you can see here. So you gotta memorize this as well, basically. A lot of memorization. Once, you know, you continue... No, I mean, if you continue doing... what am I saying? Like, if you continue watching the lessons, if you continue to hear spoken Italian, like I'm gonna suggest you to basically in every single lesson listen to spoken, actually, podcasts, I don't know, movies in the background, TV shows, whatever, even if it's dubbed and it's not original Italian stuff, whatever. Like, use as many resources as you can, even if you don't understand a single word at first, or just a few words that we have seen in the lessons. It's not important. What's important is that you get in a subliminal way almost, or in an unconscious way, you get the gist of how Italian functions, and you are gonna get it just from hearing it a lot and listening to a lot of content, even though I don't like to say content, it sounds rubbish. But then we have preferire, to prefer, so second type, this one, finire, to finish. Then we have pulire, to clean. Spedire, to send. Okay, send. Yeah. Then we have some frasi quotidiane, so daily phrases for you, like cosa prendi al bar? So what will you take at the bar? Then we have cosa leggi di solito? What do you read usually? Capisci l'italiano? Do you understand Italian? These, as you may notice, are with the verbs that we have seen now. Then the student responds, prendo un cappuccino, so I'll take a cappuccino, I'll get, better in English obviously. Leggo le notizie, I'm reading the news, le notizie. Then we have capisco un po', I understand a little. a bit, ma preferisco parlare lentamente. This means, but I prefer speaking slowly. Okay, nice. See you next time.